Buwitiweyu, Usakasakabo, Buenos dias, good day. My name is Elba, aka Phoenix Taino, and welcome to my Wakfu walkthrough.
While I wait on hubby to finish doing what he's doing so that we can get on with it, I'm going to go ahead and talk to you guys about the chat here. This is general and private. Basically, you have all these different channels that you can communicate on. And then when you go here to settings, you can even unclick channels that you're not really going to use, at least to begin with. So, recruitment is for people recruiting into guilds. If you're interested in joining a guild to make life easier for yourself through some of the harder dungeons that require more than one player to get through, unless your character's level is higher than that dungeon's, you might want to keep this on. And then I haven't really used any of these other ones. Politics I keep on because whenever you log in, the game will tell you once you select a nation to be part of, it'll let you know which nations you're allied with, which nations are enemies, and it does, change periodically, which is kind of like in the real world, right? Just like with the ecosystem, it kind of, art imitates life, life imitates art. Yeah. Anyway, and then for private, this is what I'm going to do. I'm only going to leave the guild chat, the group chat, and then the private chat. This is anything that you type in the private chat will only be visible to you on the screen and anybody who is part of the group or who sends you a message one on one. So you do need to keep in mind what this button looks like whenever you type what you type here. So for general, this is vicinity, right? If I type here, everybody in the game is going to be able to see it. That's in the same area as me at least. So if I wanted to say something to my husband that I don't want everyone to see, I can either switch this to private and just send it to him, or I can go into the private chat and make sure that it's typed. It'll be already designated to an individual person. I leave it on group because in just a moment when hubby is done, like I said, with what he's doing, we're going to join a group and you'll be able to tell that we're in a group because up here you'll see our avatars for our players, and then you'll see like a little symbol on the top of both of our heads. So it'll indicate, okay, this is where my group member is. And then on the map, which there's a mini version here so that you don't have to open the big map every time, you'll be able to see any group members. You're the green one, and then any group members will look like this, but in yellow. Let me see. Oh, another fun fact is if you use your keyboard for shortcuts, you want to make sure that you have moved your mouse out of the chat. So as you can see, I typed M here because I was trying to open the map, but it just typed here. That's why it never popped up. So I got to click on the game itself. And now when I press M, it'll open the map. And I think I hear, there he is. You ready? I just finished doing all of the main stuff and I'm at level 7. What level are you at? Okay. Do you want to do a battle on your own so that we can both get to level 7? Because if we do a battle together already in a group, we'll both gain the same amount of experience. I don't know if you want to be. Okay. Sounds like a plan. Aren't you grabbing some snacks? Okay. Some other things that I can talk about while hubby grabs some snacks. Down here are emotes, right? So when you're battling, you can change to this when you're not in a battle, rather, and you can see all your spells for when you're battling. That way, if you're like, I can't remember which elements my character has, you would just click here, and then you would go back to this one to see your I call it the spell slot. I'm not sure what you would call it when you're not looking at your spells, but you can actually get rid of all this stuff and it won't make a difference. It doesn't get rid of stuff in your inventory. This is just, a shortcuts bar. That would be the better term, a shortcuts bar. So to prove it to you, boom, these are all of the items that I had. You may or may not have noticed that down here, some of them were kind of grayed out, which means that I no longer have any of that item, but it saved the shortcut. So, for example, let me show. I'm going to click on this flower. We're going to plant some flowers. You can drag it across. And that way I don't have to click on each individual square. I can just let my character do her thing. And you can see that the item is no longer in my inventory and this is grayed out. So that's a way to know whether or not you even still have that item. And then all the other shortcuts that you would be interested in are here. And I would recommend going through each one. This is the one for emotes. The most important one that I keep on my shortcuts bar, once they all load, is one that is called sit. So the reason that I keep this shortcut here is because after a battle, let's say, the character really got it handed to them. You know what I mean? And for example, right now my HP or health points are at 120. Let's say when I get done with the battle, I have 2 HP. When I sit down, I will regenerate my HP more quickly than when I'm standing up, running around, and doing other stuff. That's why, unlike some of the other emotes that have a brown background, this one has a green background to indicate, like, okay, this is something important. I wish the game would tell you that it does that. And maybe it does later and I just don't remember, but yeah. So I can bow. I can be scared. I can lay down, take a nap. And then here are some other shortcuts, right? So if I were to type in the chat, for example, let's say, I'm going to put it here so it doesn't show up on other people's screens. I know that this bracket, I'm not sure the correct term, the squiggly bracket, that's what we're going to call it. If I type that and then a 3, it's a heart. You are not currently part of a group. Oh, so I guess I have to do it this way. All right, just kidding. Let's try again. So squiggly bracket 3, and now a heart pops up above my head. Or I can just grab this and make it a shortcut. So instead of having to click or type in the chat, I can just click on this and a heart will reappear. It'll also show the symbol in the chat so that if you don't already know what the shortcut is for that, now you know. So I think what we are going to end up doing as soon as hubby is ready, it would be just to battle a couple of more rodents before taking the zap to Astrub, because your level, based off of your level, will be how many experience points you get in different areas. So Right now we're level 7. We'll get plenty of experience fighting rodents here. If we go and level up to 20 and come back to the celestial island of Re, which is where we are currently, we're not going to get very much experience. So it's best when you're in an area, in my opinion, in my humble, not pro gamer opinion, it's best when you're in a given area to just do the most, right? Level up as much as you can, and then once you start noticing, okay, I'm not really getting much experience points here, then move on to the next area or quest or what have you. So, whenever I played before, I basically ran around and fought rodents until I got to level 10 and then left. So, I think that's what we're going to do unless when when hubby's ready, he says he's opposed and would rather get out of here and start some quote unquote real gameplay.
A few moments later.
Sure, yeah, we can fight here. Now that we're in a group, he starts a fight, it gives me the option to join him. And as mentioned earlier, you can see our avatars up here. He is a Fuggernaut and I am a Hupper Mage. So just like with your enemies, you can right click on your allies and it'll show their skills and all these other things up here. Oh, me first. I did not realize. I am too far away from anything and everyone. So I'm just going to let you have that. Oh, there was a wabbit behind me. I don't know why I said wabbit. This isn't Rayman. Wodens. They're called Wodens. Now I'm going to leave this alone because hubby and I have played these characters before just on a different server. We're on a Neo server right now. But I know that if I end my turn, that Woden will probably get shot by his turret. Oh, it's his turn first. Never mind. See, after he did his thing, his turret shot them and boom, they're done. Now I can go here and we're going to do as much damage to this wabbit as possible. She's done. He's done. They're done. Nice. Hey, have you updated your spells? Okay. I haven't either. I was just wondering. Also, now that we're in a group, before I forget to point it out, this is the little symbol that you can now see on the top of our heads. So if I were to like wander off or something and he's like, hey, where are you? And I'm in a group of people, he can look for this symbol and be like, oh, there you are. How now, brown cow? I'm actually going to update my spells because when every time you level up, you get the option right here to modify your abilities. So it shows here that I've earned 2 points in intelligence, 2 points in strength, 2 points in agility, and 1 point in fortune. So these are my characteristics. Spells are right here. So I could actually add this spell and remove a different one if I wanted this one instead. And then there's neutral spells. So, sorry, let me go back up. These are elemental. There's some neutral spells here. And then there's also passive, which are basically boosts. Well, I guess I'm not going to work on my spells because hubby started a fight. It's okay. All right. You leveled up, love. Ew. Okay. So back to my characteristics. So if you press on the letter P on your keyboard, it'll show your characteristics here. You can also go here to pull up your character sheet. But to modify abilities, you can do what I did before, which is click on that button from your character sheet, or you can press the S for spells, and it'll take you back to this screen that had the characteristics, spells, and equipment. So this is where I would put armor once I get it. I don't have any at the moment. I'm good with all the spells that I currently have. And then for characteristics, I'm going to increase my health points. For strength, I'm going to put 1 in elemental mastery and 1 in health points. For agility, I'm going to put it in initiative. And then for fortune, I'm going to increase my critical hit, the percentage. And if you hover over everything, you'll be able to see what each thing does. You can also, use the Google button on your internet machine, and read other people's explanations, especially based off of what character they're playing as. Some characters, there's no point, for example, in putting lock or dodge points, because they have moves that will bring them closer or where they can get further away from a target. So then it kind of makes these two options pointless. So I went ahead and did my update here. And were you updating your spells as well, love? Or are you still... Okay. Yes, I'm ready. Oh, wait, you know what? You go for that one, and I'll go for the one over here. Okay. Duly noted. So what does this spell do? I've played as a Hupper Mage before, but I didn't initially start as a Hupper Mage. I started as, I believe, an Eniripsa, and then I changed the class. So the initial spells that you get, like some of them I recognize, some of them I don't, because I never use them. All right. All right. So I was waiting. Hubby stepped away from his computer to grab a snacky out of the microwave. Hence my stalling. Do you want to keep going until we get to level 10 or until we get sick of this area? If we leave this area, I believe there's going to be a cutscene first and foremost, but oh, you haven't fought Grogolorgran yet? Go ahead and do that. That's probably why I had a little bit more experience than you because I had already completed that part. Yeah, Grogolorgran. In the sanctuary? Yeah, I fought him already. I thought you said that you had done all of the things. So I was like trying to hurry up on my end so that you wouldn't have to wait for me too long. All right, well, I shall wait here patiently, the same way you waited for me patiently. Oh, you know what? Something to explain here. So you notice whenever I clicked on these, the options to harvest or cut or grab a seed or whatever you want to call it are not available. That's because this is a flower that was recently planted by somebody. So, one of the cool things about this game is that whenever you plant an herb or a tree or what have you, for like the first 5 minutes, give or take, nobody else can touch it. That way, it basically gives you a chance to do what you got to do before somebody comes up behind you and, you know, takes the seed you were waiting on, or whatever the case may be. Sometimes, whenever you plant an item, a rare version of that item will become available. And if you've played Pokemon, I call them shinies because it's basically a different version of that plant. So, for example, there's thistles in the game, and if you see a thistle and then it's got little glowy things around it, then you know, like, oh, okay, this is something rare. And that's where the game limiting who can access what you planted comes in handy, because if it's a rare plant, you don't want someone to come and grab it before you even notice it's there. There's also later on in the game your haven bag, something that you'll be able to basically go into that's like a, how do I put this? It's like storage that you can carry with you. Think Mary Poppins. That would be the best explanation for it outside of the world of Wakfu. So Mary Poppins has her bag, and it's like a bottomless bag, right? Your haven bag is similar in that when you go into it, it's like its own room. You can decorate it and whatnot, and there's a chest in there for you to store items. So basically, anything that you get, you can put in your haven bag, and eventually, you get different kinds of gems that will allow you to create a garden area in your haven bag. That's another way to plant items without having other players interfere with what you're waiting to grow. Just keep in mind anything planted in the haven bag does not give you experience. So it's best to plant things out in the world, but if it's something that doesn't really get you much experience anymore because you've leveled up past that point and you're trying to get a particular item that's not as common, then that's where the haven bag comes in handy.
More moments later.
Awesome. So we're both level 8, and I'm just going to right click on my hubby and click the follow Naughty Fogger. So now wherever he goes, my character will automatically go in that direction. Makes it easier, especially in places where there's a lot of characters and whatnot, to keep track of where the person you're playing with is going. All right, I'm gonna skip my turn so that you can get this guy. You're welcome. Now you're ahead of me by significantly more. Yeah, I don't I don't understand. Okay. Oh. Man, that's exactly where I was gonna go. Great minds. I moved so you can go over there. You were there first. Hmm. All you love. How'd you end up back there? I looked down for 1 second. Oh, something worth noting is that the perimeter of any battlefield usually has some negative consequence for your stepping in it. So in this one, it is -2 MP or movement points. So whenever you step in that, right now I have 3 movement points. If I were to step in that, I would only have 1. We don't want that. So just gonna get that wabbit or wodent. Why I keep calling it a wabbit because of Rayman. Can't really do much else. So let's just kill it with fire. And then your turn, love. Listen, starting new again is like, wait, what? I thought I could. Oh, you know what? That's right. That's been my thing. There was something I was gonna do early on, like in the first battle, and I was like, oh yeah, I can't do that with the Will o' the Wisp yet. We haven't gotten to that level of experience. So, oh, can't do that. Can't do that either. Or that, or that, or that. So, we're gonna end our turn. Nice. You're trying to find like a large group. I want to say I saw some down here, but I don't know if anybody's merked those Wodents already or not. Yeah, it looks like a lot of Wodents have been merked. Everybody want to play on the Neo server. I'm just collecting seeds in hopes that I can maybe plant some Wodent seeds and yeah, go for it. If you right click and drag, no right click, but like hold down the right side of the mouse, you can move the battlefield around. So if you need it centered, or if something's over here in the way and you want it more off to the right because you're putting everyone's, battle information in the corner, like so, then you can move the battlefield. All right. Let me get up close because otherwise. Oh, me first. Hey. I like this downpour attack so much. I wish it had better range. That's the only downside of it. Right now I'm hitting this opponent with any spell just because if you look on the right side, that's its shield. You can kind of see a little shield behind the element, and then this is its mastery. Well, my mastery, and then hubby's mastery. Because that Wodent did. But, so right now, this Wodent, we can see its mastery is in earth. But it's got an even shield, so it doesn't really matter what element you hit it with. You can hit it with whichever element your character has the most mastery in, and it'll do the most damage. Done! See. Oh, there we go. So some spells are better to use because they can be used more than once. So for example, this diurnal bird of flies, it costs 2 action points. And as long as I have enough action points, I can use it 3 times per target and up to 4 times per turn. That's why I like Downpour so much. Can't really do anything from here, can I? No. So if we hover over Downpour, we can see that it also costs 2 action points, and it repeats its effect on the previous targets. That's why I like it so much. So because you have 4 uses per turn, you can hit up to 4 different targets and basically increase the amount of damage. So the first target I hit will have 3 damage taken away. The second target I hit will have 3 damage taken away, and the first target will be hit a second time. Then the third target that I hit hits the third target, the second, and the first, all the way up to 4. So that's why I like that spell, especially if you're fighting by yourself. Spells like that are super beneficial. Seriously? There we go. Where are you? Oh, you're behind the tree. I saw your symbol. So, proof right there in the pudding, y'all, as to why these symbols can be beneficial. Or let's say he's not even on the screen. I'm gonna run away from the rodent. It's got sharp teeth. No. Anyway, let's say now he's off screen. I have no idea where he is, and I'm not familiar enough with the map. I can go up here, right click, follow using compass. And now the compass is going to tell me where I need to go to find my teammate. In this case, my handsome hubby. Oh, he's moving. There he is. Yes, I'm ready. Oops. Did not mean to do that. So I just killed that one because of that downpour effect I mentioned earlier. And I'm out of moves, so I'm going to... I should not have turned around. Oh well. I say that because earlier in the tutorial, we learned that the most damage you can possibly do on a target is from behind. So you don't want to turn your back on an enemy. In this case, it's not the biggest deal in the world simply because our enemies are weak. But, if you're in the middle of a dungeon and you're fighting a boss that's super strong, the last thing you want to do is turn your back to it. On you, hubby. All right. I'm level 9 with you now. Hold on, let me look at my spells real quick. Yep, I like that one better than the one I was given. And I'll show you guys why. Yep, go ahead, love. I'll show you guys why in just a moment. Actually, you got a good point standing here. All right, so this Rift spell, whenever I use it, it gives me armor. That green bar at the top is like an extra bar of health, but it gives me armor. So as I'm taking away health from my enemy, I am improving my likelihood of surviving the battle. Oh, you're gonna hit me? Oh, I was wondering why you were apologizing. I'm like, sorry for what? Sometimes in battle, the only spell you can do will also hit an ally. So that's why I said what I said. The cool thing about the Hupper Mage, though, is that the last spell, the element of the last spell you use, will, you can amplify it with this Heart of Light. So when I click on it, that's something that you probably saw earlier. The last spell I used was Earth. So we have water symbol, water rune up here, but down here it shows the last spell you use so that you know what element you're going to end up amplifying. So it's worth it to hit my target with just the earth spell because right now that spell has a boost. And that amplification is only good for one turn. So at the end of this turn, which on the right you can see how much time you have, whose turn it is, who's up next, and everything. And this line right here shows that that's the end of the turn. If if our enemy had survived my husband's mighty blow, we would have been in another turn. And then up on the top right, we don't see it now, but I'll try to remember to point it out in the next fight. It'll show how many turns the battle has had in it. And then at the end of the battle, the pop-up that shows information will also give you a total of how many turns it took to either defeat the enemy or for the enemy to defeat you. So up here, turn 0, which makes sense because we just started. All right. So I'm going to go here, hit with water, Heart of Light to boost my water. And now I can just keep wrecking this rodent. No, I can't because I forget it's 2 uses per target. So we'll just do something else. We'll hit it with fire. Now, it doesn't make other elements weak. It just makes the one element stronger. At least that's my understanding of it so far. Nice. Also, if you're not sure what kind of damage, what's going on, or whatever may be happening as you play, as long as you have in this chat that I showed earlier the game log selected, you can see what each move does and everything like that. I highly recommend paying attention. And if you have the ability, like I do, to record your gameplay, because then you can go back over and be like, oh, I didn't realize that this was happening in the middle of the battle. Because when you're in it, you're not as attentive to other things. You're focused on staying alive and defeating the enemy. So, all right. And here we can see victory 2 turns. We won in 2 turns and it took us 59 seconds. We're about halfway through level 9. Shouldn't take us too much longer. I will also be planting seeds because there are no rodents here. Give me just 1 second, love. Okay, now I'm ready. Yeah. No? Okay. You're done. And so am I. Your turn, love. After... Oh! She kicked me into the mud! So you can see here, does it show? Yep, it's push back 1 cell, minus 1 MP. And if you hover over that, that's exactly what it's supposed to do. Oh, it looks like it's supposed to take away 2. Haha, it didn't work. Get out of my face. All right, so we got about 3 more, no, 2 more battles, and we should be at level 10. So when we first started fighting, oh, okay, hold on. All right. All right. The other one's all you, babe. Oh, I get to deal the final blow. It's the final countdown. Doo-doo-doo-doo. All right. So in one more battle, I will be level 10 with you. Don't start a battle yet, though. Let me explain something. So, in the game log, you can go in the chat. Right here, it says the fight is over. Click here to reopen the end of fight screen. So that will show this. It won't show you every single thing you did, but you can open this back up and you can scroll back through the chat and kind of look at stuff and be like, oh, okay, so this is what we did and this is what happened. And oh, look, this spell hit more than one character. Is that part of the spell or what's going on here? Because some spells will tell you, like, yeah, it'll hit more than one character. Other spells will have what's called rebound, meaning that you hit someone and then there's a chance that it'll end up hitting an adjacent enemy. So I'm ready now, whenever you are, love. A group of 3. Can you tell we be married? I'm gonna hit her twice and then hit this guy and watch, you'll see a boom, it hit her too. It shows that here too. Wodent -5, Mama Wodent -4. Rude. Oh, I can't use that. I can use this. Bye. You got it. Ayo. Now we both hit level 10 and it shows that we have unlocked one passive spell and learned some new spells as well. So I'm going to open up my spell sheet. There's a passive that looks like I haven't unlocked yet. That's really freaking cool. I don't have it yet. So we're just going to make sure we increase our dodge. And, and. Guess we'll just put that back. Alrighty. Oh, he's waiting for me at the zap. Okay. If I take this portal, I can go to the world of 12. I wonder if it's visible from here. This is giving me deja vu. The last time I scanned the horizon, that rodent pushed me. If I see it again, I'll beat the carrots out of it. No! That rabbit was like, oh, you want to talk shit, huh? Ah, just another day in Astrub. What? Is someone knocking at the door? My back. What? Where did you come from, little one? I was just incarnated, I think. You didn't break anything? I ought to have some ointment. No, I'm okay, I think. I'm used to long falls. Well, kids these days are really tough. I'm sorry. I caused a bit of a mess. A bit, yes. What's important is that you didn't break anything. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Mammy Pal. Nice to meet you. My name is Nikiwari. Let's go to the living room. We can talk more calmly there. Okay, so now we gotta talk to Mammy Pal. Welcome to Astrub, young adventurer. The old woman looks at you fondly. I finally arrived in the world of 12. I guess I ought to compensate you for your sealing. Mammy Pal nods, lost in thought for a few seconds. In that case, can you take this Haven bag to my friend Coulthard? He's outside the city. I would go there myself, but my poor legs and my old back. No worries. The old woman hands you a bag. Thank you, that's very kind. I have a feeling you're going to accomplish great things, young lady. You grab the bag. I'm going to become an adventurer everyone in the whole world of 12 will talk about. My friend is south of here. He's a big redhead. He's hard to miss. Coulthard is always fighting with his apprentice. Again, sorry about the roof, Mammy. Let's go. En route. All right. So, if you try to leave this room before talking to Mammy Pal, the game is going to make you turn around and go back to Mammy Pal. Okay? You have to talk to her before the game will let you leave. And this is the quest of Fateful Encounter. We've spoken to Mammy Pal, and now it's letting us leave her house. So this is Astrub. I'm supposed to go see someone called Coulthard. I suppose that must be Coulthard, the legendary hero. All right, time to head south. You head off to the south. In no time, you leave the hustle and bustle of the city behind. The peaceful meadows around Astrub make for pleasant walking. In spite of everything, you're eager to begin your adventure. Your previous incarnation and your defeat at the hands of Ogress are only a distant memory now. You arrive at a fisherman's hamlet. Right away, you hear the sounds of fighting. It looks like you've found Coulthard. So some quests will automatically show the compass. I recommend as soon as you see where you're supposed to go, turning the compass off because sometimes that compass gets stuck and it's annoying. So Goultard is this redhead over here. Let's talk to him. Hello, little one. All well and good? I haven't seen you before, I don't think. The proud warrior looks at you with a puzzled look before bursting out laughing. You look like you've got some potential in you for a simple incarnate. You want to train with us? Ah, yes, you are the Goultard, in fact. I have a haven bag for you. You hand Goultard the haven bag that Mammy Pal gave you. That old thing? What do you want me to do with that? Mammy Pal asked me to bring it to you. Mammy is never going to leave me in peace. I already told her I have no need for this haven bag. You know what? You can keep it. You may still find it useful for organizing your things. Well, okay. Who is she? Goultard's young disciple looks at you nonchalantly. At least he's not lacking in bravery. You, do you know how to fight? You want to train with us? I'm not against a little training. I hate to admit it, but I'm a little rusty ever since my reincarnation. It takes time to recover from reincarnation. That being said, I can see you have a lot of potential. I'm ready to train with you. What do you want me to do? The legendary warrior thinks for a moment. Now that I think about it, the Baomeows are wreaking havoc around here. Both of you, go clean Grandmeow's house for me. The poor lady has been unable to get back into her house for days now. My first mission is to fight Baomeows? Master Goultard, that's a terrible mission. Sigh, the mission isn't very exciting. There's other options, but I'm just going to go ahead and click this one because it doesn't really make a difference. Dao Dao, an adventurer's missions are not always epic. The main thing is to help those in need. And then who knows? Maybe something surprising will happen. On to adventure, Dao Dao. Talk about foreshadowing. All right, so we got to find the Baomeows at Grandmeow's house. I already know where that is. Hubby out here trapping. Uh-huh. Got you in 4K. The trapping profession, by the way, is harvesting from fauna in a given area. So this we know is the right place because hubby is the leader. He has to go in first, and then when I go in after, we'll get a cutscene. Ugh, it smells like Baomeow, something fierce. Stay back, kid. I'll handle this. What? No way. I'm joining the fight too. So now we have Grandmeow's house, an explanation of dungeons. In this special dungeon, you control both Percival and your own character. Use Percival wisely to defeat the Baomeows and make your way through the dungeon. At the end of the fight, you can earn equipment and resources. So there's the hubby. Yes, I'm ready. And Dao Dao's right there next to us. He automatically joins the fight. And here we go. Yeah, since you're the leader, you're the one in control of him. Anybody watching who is playing solo will also be able to control Percival as well as their character. I can't because hubby's the leader of our group. So he gets to have all the fun. That was fun. Oh, something else that exists in battles are challenges. So anytime you join a group with experienced players, they usually want to attempt the challenges because you get extra points and experience and stuff like that. So this challenge was complete your turn with MP or movement points left over. I used all of mine, so we were not able to complete this challenge. This kid is really good at fighting. Did you see my awesome attacks? Let's go. I can't wait for Master Gultar to give me a more interesting quest. All right, achievement completed by Nikiwari, 3 little bow meows. And honey, before you start that fight, let me show something before I forget. So, if you end up unpinning these quests, right, and you're like, oh no, I don't remember what I'm supposed to do, you can go down here and pull up your quests. I can't remember which one it is. It's one of these because I always use the shortcut, which is to just hit Q on your keyboard. So the logbook, this is where your quests are. So you have a list of all your quests and then a list of achievements. So we're in Astrub right now. We click on that and it shows all the different achievements that will gain you extra experience points. So the reincarnation achievement, we already got that because we reincarnated, right? We started the game. And then completing this dungeon gave us the 3 little bow meows, which is defeat the first group of bow meows at Grandmeow's house. And there's all these other achievements that we can go for. A lot of them are automatically completed as long as you complete the different quests, but not all of them. So it's something worth checking periodically. Okay, I'm done yapping, love. Alrighty then. Another thing to point out is, see right now, I can't really see that cat that's over there. If you're not sure or unable to see an enemy over here on the right, whenever you hover over stuff, it'll put an arrow. So we know the blue arrow, that's an ally. The red arrow is an enemy. I can't really do anything. I'm going to go ahead and let this time run out while I explain the next thing. But down here, you can change your combat view. So if this view is to the point where you're just like, I can't really see things well enough, you can click this. That'll add lines and it'll make any obstacles, it'll turn them blue. So I couldn't go down this section because it wasn't a movable area. And we can tell now because it's blocked out by this blue square. Not something that would have been easy to tell otherwise. And then there's a third option. So you can make the battlefield look more like a chessboard. And it's a little bit easier visually to tell where your enemies are, where your allies are, what's in the way that you would have to move around, so on and so forth. We're going pretty good so far. Let's keep going. The boss can't be much further now. Help! Help me, please! The Bao Meows want to eat me! Holy cow! It's incredible! It looks like... Looks like what? It's... I don't know what it is. Because he's looking at the cat's butthole. I'm just a harmless gremlin. Oh, the dialogue went too fast. All right, so that's from the last battle. I'm ready whenever you are. All right, so I'm going to let some time run out real quick. and show you guys another thing. So this is something called transparent fighters. Sometimes, like let's say this guy is huge, so if a little tiny little kitty's on this square, I might not be able to see it. So you can click on this and it'll make him transparent to where it's easier to see any squares that the character is covering. And then this lock fight option is if you're out running around and you don't want some random person jumping in on your fight, then you would lock the fight. That way you can ensure that you're getting all the experience points. Most things in this game, if you hover over it, it'll explain what it is. So that's nice. There are some things that the game does not explain, so it's definitely beneficial to play with somebody who is experienced. If you don't know anybody who has played Wakfu before, then Wakfu has a Discord that you can join. I believe I've mentioned this in previous videos. And sometimes people will post that they're recruiting for their guild. So oh, okay, well, I can go over here then and join this guild and get help. Ask questions and figure out what my next step is because the quest isn't specific enough. So here I can't move in either direction even though I have 3 movement points because the cat has me locked in, meaning that its lock stat is higher than my dodge stat. That's why I can't move. Oh, and because I have the characteristic sheet open, you can see it has a 15 lock bonus. And then my dodge is at 10. So again, because my dodge amount is lower than this character's lock amount, I am stuck until he's defeated or I use an ability that allows me to get away from that particular enemy. But I don't have any abilities like that yet. This right here that I tried to use earlier does allow me to get away from targets. There, I think that was the last one. Thank you so much for helping me. The Bamiaos around here have been all riled up recently. Maybe it's something about the sea air. I'm Nikiwari, and this is Percival. Nice to meet you, Nikiwari. Let me come along on your travels. I can be pretty useful, you'll see. Finally, some fresh air. I couldn't take the smell of Baomiaos any longer. Watch out! I think we found what was upsetting the Baomiaos. Ah ha ha! Finally, a boss that's worthy of the name. Away with dismay. Gultard's here to save the day. Master Gultard, no! The gigantic cart goes down quickly once the ever-valiant Gultard gets its hands on it. Percival seems really disappointed that he couldn't take part in this epic battle. You go back to Gultard to report on everything that's happened. All right, so we've completed the achievement, A Boy and His Gremlin. And that fight took 3 turns, and it even shows here this was the challenge, or one of the challenges that we were not able to complete. So now it says check in with Gultard, and it auto-compassed. I'm going to turn that off. Haha, come on, Dao Dao, quit pouting. Take young Percival's side and shoot Gultard a reproachful look. It's not fair, Master Gultard. You didn't leave any Nakark for me. Not even one tentacle. It's a tentacle, you yophead. But seriously, decent work, you two. Thanks to you, the Fisherman's Hamlet will finally be a nice, quiet place again. Absolutely. Plus, now I've got a new traveling companion. The Gremlin reacts excitedly. It hops up on your shoulder and gives Gultard a friendly wave. Hey, it's a Gremlin. That's an interesting creature. It should help you to focus your powers. Nice find, kid. So now what? I'll resume personal training with Dao Dao. Don't take this the wrong way, but managing 2 full-time disciples at the same time is kind of a pain. Oh, okay. Ah, don't give me that look. I've cooked up a little series of missions for you. You want to become the greatest adventurer that the world of 12 has ever known, don't you? All right, I'm listening. The Astrub Knight disappeared while on a mission. It seems he was trying to learn more about some mysterious cult, something to do with Grandmeows. I think it's a mission you can probably handle, but you'll have to go into the city. Talk to Pappy Pal. He might know more about it. Pappy Pal? He wouldn't be related to Mammy Pal by any chance. You could also do a tour of the Astrub dungeons. Any self-respecting adventurer has to go through the Gobble dungeon and the Tofu dungeon at least once. You'll have a hard time getting through them alone, but if you can find some other adventurers, you'll level up really quick in there. Ah, now you're talking. There are 3 low-level dungeons in Astrub: the Gobble dungeon, the Tofu dungeon, and the Larva dungeon. Oh, and I've marked on your map where Automai's disciple is located. If you lend him a hand, you'll make super fast progress and acquire some really useful equipment. That's pretty good for a start, but Astrub's also bursting with other minor quests you can take on if you feel like it. Brilliant. I'll do that then. Thanks, Gultard, and see you soon. So we got a little over an hour of gameplay in this video. I'm going to go ahead and cut it off here and see you guys in the next video.